Hi! So, it's been weeks. I don't think it's been months, but it's definitely been weeks. And I'm sorry about that. It's been very busy, as those of you who might be in school or teach know that spring is always crazy. It just is. So I just wanted to talk about a few things today because I've had a really interesting week. And I don't know, I just felt like sharing because some nice things have happened to me. So I'll try to do this quickly. I tend to take long pauses. I don't know why. It must be a southern thing. But as you can see, I have flowers. Aren't they lovely? And there's a story behind that because this week was one of the hardest weeks I've probably had in a while, if not ever. Maybe not ever, but definitely tough week. And I can't explain why. It's not knowledge for public consumption, but just know that it was difficult and devastating. And I am not very good at hiding big emotions in my day-to-day life, despite used to wanting to be an actress, or maybe that's because, and that's why I'm not an actress, and I didn't like LA. So my students, because they pay attention to the things that I don't need them to pay attention to, but don't pay attention when I really need them to pay attention, like about books and literature and things like that. They noticed that I was upset this week, and I couldn't explain to them why, which is unusual because I'm fairly open with my students if there are things going on, if I deem that it's appropriate. Small school, private school, that's just kind of how it goes. And I'm not a very reserved person if you haven't figured that out yet. So, because of my upset nature, I don't know how to explain the fact that I was obviously sad for reasons unknown. I had a student bring me a little thing of ice cream, which was mint chocolate chip, which was one of my favorites. I had a student give me the last bit of a Frappuccino, which was actually pretty good. It's a new Frappuccino that I never made when I worked at Starbucks. I had a student bring me these flowers, which are just bright and cheerful. And I'm beginning to really appreciate flowers in my apartment. They just, I don't know, they just make things nice. And I also had two students give me a thing of chocolate. Now, understand that I have no issues with crying. I think crying is healthy, and I think that you should cry every once in a while because it clears the cobwebs, and if the eyes are the window to the soul, you need to clean your windows once in a while, and that's what crying is. That's not mine. I definitely read that in a book. I am not that clever. And I don't particularly have any issue when I cry. Even in public, it's not usually a problem, but you don't cry in front of your students. It shows weakness, and they can smell the weakness on you. And no offense, that makes them sound like dogs, and I don't mean it that way, but there's a certain amount of boundary that must happen between teachers and students. So I don't cry in front of them, even though I'm a bit of a weeper sometimes. But when these two students handed me this chocolate bar, which is a significantly good, like imported from supposedly Belgian chocolate, I cried. And I really cried. It wasn't like, tear or two. I mean, I cried, not into his shoulder, because that'd be really pathetic. But that kind of explains the how I was doing. So this chocolate also comes with a love poem. And this one is by Percy Shelley, and I thought I would share because it's really nice, and I don't remember it, at least when I studied the Romantics. And if you don't know who the Romantics are, you need to study romantic literature because it's amazing. It's not romantic just in the fact that it's like, oh, love and all that kind of stuff, although that is a main focus, but it's poetry. That's always a main focus. Love, death, time, taxes, it's just all there. So I wanted to read it to you. It's called Love's Philosophy. The fountains mingle with the river, and the river with the ocean. The winds of heaven mix forever with a sweet emotion. Nothing in the world is single. All things by a law divine in one another's being mingle. why not I with thine? See the mountains kiss high heaven, and the waves clasp one another. No sister flower would be forgiven if it disdained its brother. And the sunlight clasps the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. What are all these kissings worth, if thou kiss not me? Isn't that nice? And I am a hopeless romantic. I have been since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. But I'm also very, very cynical, which comes with years of not being in love. But I really liked this, and I wanted to share. So I'm in a much better place right now than I was earlier this week. And I think that was partially due to friends listening to me vent my frustration and heartbreak, coworkers being kind, students being very, very sweet. And I appreciate that, and I hope they know that. Because even when things go awry, it's nice to have people around you who care. Even when they don't know why you're having meltdowns. Also, I started this book the other day, last night actually, and I'm, something wet. And I'm, wow, 200 pages through already, more than halfway. It's a dystopian novel. It's sort of a love dystopian, and it's pretty good. I'm still sort of, I'm still formulating my opinion on it. It was recommended to me by my agent, because my agent recommends books to me to read, which is fun. And I certainly take her opinion, because she apparently liked my books. And yeah, so that's kind of fun. I've been reading a lot more in between grading, because it's always grading. But it's been fun, because I've read a lot, and I feel like it's getting the juices going so I can really work and complete and get my sequel ready. You know, it takes a lot of polishing to do a novel. So, I am waiting. Oh gosh, I've got about an hour before I need to head to the movie theater to see The Great Gatsby. And I don't have too high of expectations, because I've heard things from my literary friends. If you haven't read the book, you need to. In fact, read it twice, because if you're like me, you don't really get it the first time. But it's beautiful. It's such amazing language. I'm jealous that Mr. Fitzgerald writes the way he does and I don't. But, you know, he was probably smarter than me too. But I'm going with, well, no, that's not good. I'm going, some students of mine might show up, because we read it this year, and they wanted to go on a field trip and miss school, and I wasn't going to have that, but I said that I would tell them when I went, and, you know, they could meet me there. If not, I go to movies by myself. It sounds so sad and lonely. I don't mean it like that. Movies aren't an extremely social thing. I mean, you sit there and you don't talk for 2+ hours. Or you shouldn't talk. You should not talk in movies, because other people want to hear the dialogue. I'm looking at you, teenagers that were in the showing of Warm Bodies with me, who kept texting in the middle of a film. So I saw little lights go on, and leaving and coming back into the theater to answer phone calls. I don't know what was going on. It was awful. And Warm Bodies was really good, by the way, but that was really distracting. Wow, that was a soapbox. I can't help it. I mean, I'm a chatterer, but movies? And you know, if you want to talk, you whisper a little bit. You don't talk. I was really about to go up and, you know, say something, but my friend would have gotten really embarrassed, because I'm good at that. I'm really good at embarrassing her. So that's my story about this week and my update that has been so long. But I'm hoping to get a new camera sometime soon and take you with me this summer, because I'm going to England for a couple weeks to see my agent and to travel. And oh my God, it's England. And I thought I could video update from there, because I thought that would be fun. Ugh, I'm talking really fast here at the end, so I hope it's understandable and that I'm enunciating properly. So happy flowers for you to share, and have a wonderful weekend. I really hope that you are as fortunate or blessed, whatever word you prefer to use, as I am, to have friends, coworkers, students, people in your life that care so deeply and show you. So until next time, which might be a while because finals and grading and all that kind of stuff, but I promise it will be in the summer. Have a wonderful life and days and all that. Sometimes that don't even make sense. Bye.